Hello everyone, it's Sam with Child Support Game Over. Thanks again for joining us and watching another one of our videos. We hope that you find it very helpful. I want to start with this video with a real quick announcement. We have a friend by the name of Nate who has been incarcerated and is being held on a $10,000 cash bond. Prior to this, he was issued an order for arrest by a family court. And police officers pulled him over, charged him with 4 felony counts, and ultimately gave him the $10,000 bond. Nate fought for himself and fought for all of us. He was in the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, the federal 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. He was in the Eastern District Court of Wisconsin with lawsuits against the family court so-called person in the black robe judge, guardian ad litems, law enforcement officers, and ultimately, guys, they retaliated against him. Again, they seized his bank accounts. His family basically abandoned him and said, you should just follow what they say, listen to government, otherwise you're going to get in trouble. So everybody left him, everybody abandoned him, but he still fought for himself and he fought for all of you. We're trying to help Nate out. We need to sell 100 books. Within this 100 books that we're going to do a special edition. It's going to be an additional 30 to 40 pages long. It's going to have one code in it, ladies and gentlemen, that says that you can relieve yourself from the United States citizen corporate status. Obviously, if that happens, you can also dissolve the Social Security and account number. It's not as scary. I don't believe it's as scary as what some people may think. But it's a very helpful code in my opinion. Because here's the facts. These courts, our government, has gotten out of control. They have usurped their power, and they're going to continue to feed on us like slaves. Okay? I'm going to do a video. My next video is going to be on that topic where I can prove that that is exactly what happened according to Congress, the congressional record. Now, again, we're here to help you guys, and we're hoping that you can come through. We'd help anybody. Anybody contacts us and says, hey, we'll do our best. We don't want to see anybody locked in a cage by some unconstitutional court or any type of court for that matter for an alleged debt. So we're here stepping up for Nate because we've been notified, and we really appreciate your support, and I know he will too. But you guys will benefit from this book. It's got a lot of information, a lot of helpful and useful information in it. So I'm going to carry on to my video. If you haven't watched Alert, Fake Courts Are Enslaving You, this is kind of going a step further because my contention from what I read is that this is obviously not an Article 3 court, and it's not an Article 1 legislative court. It is a court created by contract. And I guess I'm going to start there. And I did in the last video, but I'm going to pick up from there. 302.34, guys. This is 45. I'm sorry for those of you who didn't catch it. 45 CFR 302.34, cooperative agreements. The state shall plan shall provide that the state will enter into agreements, contracts, guys, which are reflected in a record for cooperative arrangements contract of this chapter with appropriate courts. So, guys, the controlling instrument in these so-called Title 4D proceedings is the contract. Then the legislation came in after that. So, as you guys know about the so-called state plan, the state had to create legislation that corresponds with Title 4D. And all Title 4D are just provisions of a contract, right? You're going to provide these services. This is how you're going to provide the services. So all Title 4D talks about is the provisions of the contract, the services, okay? So in order for OCSC to allow the state to operate a Title 4D agency is if first they came into compliance with the agreement. Then OCSC approved it after they created, the so-called state legislature created the statutes to conform to the contract. So, they can try to claim and it's an Article 1 legislative court. But, look at it this way. If this cooperative agreement dissolves and there is no more contract, it renders the legislation null and void. I hope you understand that. The controlling instrument is the contract. That's what created the court. Now, let's go to, this is Wisconsin State Statutes, DCF 150. I'm going to take you down, and guys, you should probably be able to find a similar code or statute similar to this in your state, but this is very important. If not, they got a contract, and that's what created their so-called tribunal. DCF 150.02, definitions of court. Court means a circuit court judge or family court commissioner. Pump the brakes, guys. Hold on. The man or woman in the black robe cannot be the court. Okay? They are a neutral, they're supposed to be a neutral and detached person who presides over proceedings. Okay? The court is a public institution set up by society. The ability for the courts to be even in existence is through the Constitution. Okay? So, you can't create the man or woman in the black robe to be the court with a contract and then claim that it's a valid court order. Right, guys? I'm sure many of you are familiar with that phrase. Well, you have a court order. You have a court order. What kind of court? We all know it's not a judicial court. We know from the contract in 45 CFR 302.34, it's not an Article 1 court. It's a creation of a contract, and the contract controls the legislation. The legislation was in place to conform to the contract. So, it is a court created by a contract. Now, why here does it say that the person in the black robe is the court? Right here, right? So the entity contracted with, when they say the court here, they didn't contract with the court, they contracted with a person in the black robe. Okay? Or, what does it say here? Such as district attorneys, blah, 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 covering more than one court, official, or agency. It could be an official. An official can enter into the contract. And now that official, according to state statutes, will now become the court. All right, guys, let's move forward. A couple case laws here for you just to give you a better idea. And again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. Please do not take anything I say and construe it to be legal advice. I'm just reading and coming to my own opinions and sharing it with you. Okay? People versus Zajic, Appellate Court, 2nd District. Says here in blue, as a general proposition, jurisdiction is vested in the courts, not in judges. So remember the official. So the judge, the person in the black robe, an official, contracts with the Title 40 agency, and now boom, voila, becomes its own court. I don't know if that's legit, guys. Let's go to a Wisconsin case here. And this is State versus Dixon, a 1972 Supreme Court case. And guys, you should be able to find these case laws in your states. If you need help, contact me at csgameover2@yahoo.com. And anyways, I'm going to proceed here. Rubin versus State articulated the role of the judge from that of the court while discussing a contempt committed by an attorney. So it's separate. They're separate, guys. The judge is separate from the court. Courts are institutions set up by society for the purpose of administering justice. Okay? They're public institutions set up by society. Remember, courts got they're a creation of the Constitution. Okay? Article 1, Article 3, courts are a creation of the Constitution. The judge is an individual. Okay? So these case laws will break down one main component here, guys. The judge is not the court. They're separate. Okay? Courts are public institutions set up by society. The judges are individuals. What is an individual, right? Just a person. So, I hope this helps you guys to understand where we're coming from, where my opinion lies on what type of court you're in. It could be an official, okay, can create this, what they want to claim as a court. Now, again, jurisdiction is vested in the courts, not in judges. So when you go in there for these Title 40 hearings, I don't care if it's an order to show cause they served you, or if they served you with a paternity proceeding. Whoa. What jurisdiction are we under here? Are we under Article 3 jurisdiction? No. Article 1? No. Is this a court created by contract? Because I'm pretty sure, according to my opinion, you don't have to be present to those. And I'm pretty sure if they enter a default judgment, it's null and void. It's garbage. It means nothing to me, in my opinion. So, guys, I hope you go back, watch. If you haven't seen Alert, Fake Courts Are Enslaving You, and then watch this video, I should put everything together for you. We had a comment, somebody asked to go a little bit, to expound on that last video, and here it is. So, my next video is going to be very important, guys. It's going to be on the 14th Amendment. I'm going to kind of show you how they're trying to, in my opinion, extend their jurisdiction out to the 14th Amendment citizen. Now remember, this book that we have, a special edition book to help Nate get out of jail with his bail of being $10,000, it's going to have a code in it that says that you can get rid of the United States citizen status, the corporate legal entity status, the 14th Amendment citizen status, guys. It doesn't get any much better than that, in my opinion. If there's one way to get back at them, it's that. It's dissolving the Siskiyou Trust, walking away. The code says that you can do that. So we are going to include this code in the book for those of you who are fed up with the corrupt system, the corrupt court system, our corrupt so-called representatives. It's out of control, guys. And I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. So we have to gain as much knowledge and power as we possibly can and make a decision. So it's up to you guys, but we really appreciate your support. I know Nate would with this book. Let's get him out. Again, he was a guy that not only fought for himself, but he fought for all of you. The book, it's going to help Nate get out, but not only that, but the book is going to greatly benefit you. Okay? So, you guys, I hope you had a good 4th of July weekend, and take care, and we'll be back on shortly soon with another powerful video. Thank you for watching.